This is Elgin from the Correct Ask Classic Podcast, back with another MOTU Monday video here on YouTube. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so that you're notified next time we have a video. Yes? What? Yeah, that's fine. It's having a side conversation with my producer, Ethan.
I'm over here.
he's way over there. Anyway, back to the video. Today we're starting, this will be the first week for our Origins figures that we're going to be talking about. So we'll have these for the next foreseeable MOTU Monday videos. So to start off, I thought we'd start off with the earliest wave that I have and that I haven't opened yet. And these are the He-Man and Skeletor. Take a picture here. These are the vintage Sculpt He-Man and Skeletor origin figures that came out. Let's call them Wave 4.5. They never were an actual wave. They just came out because of the, I don't know, backlash or comments made on the MOTU community about, hey, put out some vintage looking head sculpts on the standard figures, because as we know, the original figures from Wave 1 had kind of the revisioned look of them. So I think I got these for Christmas. That's how long ago I've had these now. So we'll take a look at them. Of course, we have He-Man with kind of the what they're calling vintage now of head sculpt, as you can see there. And what's been on kind of the later figures as well, what they've kind of gone to as like the alternate head sculpt if it's a vintage style figure. So we'll look at that. And then they did not really a vintage head sculpt of Skeletor. They did this smiling kind of face as opposed to the original. The Wave 1 Skeletor was a an open mouth, kind of like cackling or talking, and it's great for actually videos because it looks like he's talking all the time. This one has got more of him like smirking now, which I suppose you could swap in if you're doing cuts on edits and stuff. So we'll take a look at that as well. The cross cell on the back, if this kind of shows you how old these are, it has Faker, Fisto, and then the Lord of Power Merman, and then the 2000X version of Evelyn, which I've done videos of all of those. Go back to our playlist. I think they're all MOTU Monday videos, so check that out. They didn't really change the backs of these. They are still the same card back as on Wave 1 for He-Man and Skeletor, so they didn't really change that at all. All they really did was repackage them, different head sculpts, and I believe the weapons are, the swords are slightly different as well, but we'll see that when we open them up. So let's open up He-Man first, and then we'll get to and we'll open Skeletor, and then we'll have them both A and B here. So let's quickly open this one and take a look. See how I think the comic book that comes with this one is from that wave of the Fisto Merman wave, Lord of Power Merman. So, which would make sense because that's kind of the wave it was on, but wasn't really released with those for I mean, like I say, 4.5. Let's say it was kind of in between those two waves. So. Come on. Cutting through plastic. Yeah, so it's got the Fisto comic book, if you want to think of it that way. Keep that over there. It's got the normal instructions, I guess, of what parts you can swap out right there. And Then it's got the Sucker Punch Fisto comic book for that wave with Land Shark and all those things going on. So that's really, and not really any difference, but come on, get out of here. Thing's stuck on him. It smells like new plastic. Open up his weapons here. Get that out of here. So, the axe, I believe, is the same double-sided axe. The shield, I believe, is the same as well. Same kind of classic shield. So there's that. Looks like the biggest difference is instead of being a half of a power sword where you would combine it with Skeletor's and make the full power sword, we get a full molded sword, kind of like the Super Sevens and all that. So it's kind of nice to have just kind of a full sword as opposed to a half. The half sword was very, thinking about it, the first wave should have came out with something like this. And then when you do vintage, because the vintage had the two halves of the power sword, then you could have done vintage sculpt, vintage sword, all that kind of stuff. So, or just just do this vintage sculpt and put two swords in it. Put a full power sword and then put the half one in, and then you wouldn't have had to make a second figure. You could just put this out in wave one, and then have a bestseller or something. But he does come with a little. You can put his sword in there and hold it for. So when he reaches it for the power, So that's really looks like the main difference besides the head sculpt is that full power sword. So look at that. That's really it. I mean, I don't think I even saw any of these in the wild. I think they're all online, or I might have had it on my Amazon wish list. I don't know. I mean, speaking of Amazon wish list, if you go to www.cracktasticplastic.com, you will find all of our Amazon wish lists. If you would like to purchase us something, we would be very much grateful, and we'll probably do a video for you. Give you a shout out. That's at www.cracktasticplastic.com. We'll open up Skeletor next and take a look at that figure and see what the differences of that figure are as well. If I can cut the... So it also comes with the same Sucker Punch comic book with Fisto. Comes with the instructions of which parts to take off, which fell on the floor. And then the same card back as well. I'm out of here. Get all the stuff off in here. Oh man, what's really on there? Okay, so comes with the Havoc Staff, which I believe came with the last one. So you should always have his Havoc Staff. And like the He-Man, he also came with a full power sword, Havoc sword, some sort of sword. And like the head sculpt is now this kind of smirking Skeletor face, as opposed to the mouth open, which I kind of like the mouth open now. I've gotten used to it. But they were doing a vintage head sculpt, they could have just made him looked on the vintage one, you know. It's closer, but I think I still prefer the Rise of Power 2-pack Skeletor head sculpt that came with it with the Kildor. That head sculpt with the bejeweled eyes and everything, I think is probably the best origin Skeletor head sculpt that's come out so far. So far, but yeah. So now we get another. I suppose there's also the Terror Claws Skeletor, which probably will coming up in another video. But so there's that as well. But anyway, this is him. He doesn't have anything other than the back of his thing to like his harness to put his little sword there. So, but yeah. So we got He-Man Skeletor Wave, let's say 4.5 vintage sculpt is kind of what we're calling them as well. Not really too much difference. Is it worth buying these instead of the Wave 1? It just depends on what your preference is for how you want the face to look, really. I do like that it is a full power sword. That's nice to have, especially for photography, so you can just have them hold it. It doesn't matter that you have to, you know, turn it away from that, or, you know, put them together or something. So that's kind of nice on that part. Other than that, I mean, if you like the Wave 1, stand up there. If you like the Wave 1 head sculpts, then it's good. But the He-Man one especially, it looks more vintage. Skeletor, I don't know. I don't know if I like him smirking like that. But anyway, so if it's all going to come down to your preference, personal preference of what you like in the head sculpts. For me, I do like the He-Man one better, but I think I almost prefer for this figure, just the Skeletor figure, the open mouth. It's a little more expressive, especially in videos. But like I said, the Rise of Evil 2-pack with that alternate head, I think is still probably my favorite head sculpt. I'll have to see the Terror Claws to see how that compares, but right now I'm going to have to go with that 2-pack for the head. Here's the piece that fell down on the floor. Just showing what you can take off. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the video. My shirt's all weird. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so that you're notified when the next video drops. Be sure to go to our website, which is www.cracktasticplastic.com. While you're there, you'll be able to find us on all of our social medias like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Patreon, and YouTube. If you want to become a Patreon member, it's only $5 to be part of our exclusive chat with the 4 other podcasters. While you're there, make sure you download the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, whatever. Leave a 5-star review on iTunes if you'd like. He fell over. Also, like I mentioned before, we have an Amazon wish list. Our wish lists are there, so if you wanted to pick us up something, send it to us. That'd be awesome. And what else? Patreon. Talk about Patreon. I'm blanking on what. Oh, of course, our sponsors. Our sponsors are Toy Hacks. So go to www.toyhacks.com for all of your retro label needs and weapons and dioramas or whatever. Check them out. Make sure we have a contest every month where we do a caption contest to get a coupon to use for Toy Hacks. So send us something funny and you might win. And then also Big Bad Toy Store. Be sure to use our affiliate link, which is www.bbts.cracktasticplastic.com. and that'll send you to their website, but it also shows that we sent you there. So bookmark that and use that anytime you make a purchase or pre-order. Oh, I think that's it. Join us for next MOTU Monday, where we're going to keep talking about Origin figures. So see you on the next one once you like and subscribe and follow us.